before I go to
What's
bed.
what's the hardest thing you're dealing with right now in your prep?
Cardio in the evenings.
What about those
Just
cookies that Megan got?
oh, they look good, don't they?
They do.
Um, oh man, yeah. But I'm trying to balance. My biggest issue is enough sleep.
Hmm.
I usually average about 6 hours. Sometimes it's only 5.
Welcome to the Work Hard People's Podcast. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Remember, I'm James, the old guy. We have the very beautiful Miss Emma, and we have Zach Keene, who we know I love to call the Viking, so because he kind of looks like one. How you all doing today,
Doing good. Been
Emma?
a been a busy Saturday.
I
Very
know
good.
Emma's had a busy one. She was having some phone issues. It got her all jacked up. So, hey, but we just want to first before we kick this thing off here with Zach, I just want to take the time to thank everybody that's been liking and subscribing. Please continue to do it. Um, this podcast really, I mean, I have such a blast doing it. It's been a great help to me mentally. I look forward to doing it every week, getting to talk to great people and hearing their stories and seeing what's going on. I just enjoy the conversation. So, just wanted to thank everybody out there and like I said, we really appreciate all the input. So with that, we got Zach back on because he is getting ready in about a month. What? May 20th, right?
Yep, 6 weeks today. Right, 6 weeks from right now, I'll probably be munching on my post-show steak.
There you go.
So
There you go.
yeah.
So he's going to the Indiana Muscle. He's going to compete up there. And it's a pretty decent show. Matter of fact, I know that Derek Lunsford's supposed to be out there. That's his
Hmm.
hometown. So we're going to talk to Zach a little bit just about how his prep's going, what he's been up to, getting ready for the show. He's been posting some great pictures. I saw some pictures the other day that I'll throw up here. He's looking really good. In fact, I think he looks better right now than he did last year when he was on
Hmm.
stage.
I'd
So
agree.
Yeah.
yeah. So how's that
That's
going, man?
s- um. I'm in a lot better place this year than I was last year. Last year was my first prep. Um. Last year we probably went into it a little early. I wasn't quite ready for a show. We just happened to, hey, this show's coming up. Let's throw me into it. Had a lot of progress to make in a short amount of time. Um, I came into this prep out of the Axe and Sledge HWMF challenge, the 8 week challenge. So I was already hitting a pretty good cut for that challenge. Um, and then I wasn't planning on competing this year. We was gonna take a full year off, try to get me, in a lot better shape. And during the challenge, I was just progressing at such a good rate, and then just happened to be chatting with the people who own my gym, and they mentioned that they'd be more than happy to sponsor my next show. They pay all my entry fees for my next show, and I was thinking, well, that's kind of a hard deal to pass up. Um, and so I looked into it and talked to coach, and he said, well, yeah, we can keep running prep out past the challenge. I think he'll be in a good shape. So we decided to go with that. And my only other obstacle then was afford the hotel, which there's this podcast. You guys should look them up. They're sponsoring me. They pay for my hotels with the Work Hard People's podcast. You should give them a listen. Now if it wasn't for the gym and for you guys, I don't think I'd be competing this year. So
No, we're happy and glad to do it, man. It's neat. I mean, that's the whole point of Work Hard Peoples to begin with, is to help the little guys out there, right? Help them get where they want to
yep.
go and
He just
achieve
called
their
you
goals.
little. He just
Well,
called you
Yeah,
little,
it
Zach.
it
okay.
happens. My
Hey,
son
you've
says
seen
I
us
got
both, Emma. Who's bigger?
my son. He's 6 years old, or I'm 9 years old. My daughter's six. He's 9 years old, big as a beanpole. Always says I got chicken legs. But my leg's bigger than he is. I don't know where he gets that attitude from.
No, you're looking really good, man. The pics you've been posting, the ones you did the other day, I mean, your abs are starting to come in. Shoulders are just, I mean, they look like just cords of gristle. I mean, they're
my
just everything is really starting to come in nice.
my shoulders have always been my strong point. I don't know if they develop so good because I like to work them or because I like to work them so they develop so good. Um,
Yeah.
in most cases, in the past, when I don't measure my strength anymore. I lift to muscular fatigue. So that may change week to week. Sometimes I might be feeling good and hit a certain weight for X amount of reps, and next week it might be more weight for more reps or less weight for more reps or however I'm feeling. But when I was lifting to measure strength, my shoulders, um, my incline bench press was equal or more than my flat bench, and that could be due to I had a little bit of an injury, so laying flat and benching flat kind of hurt my shoulder a little bit, whereas the incline it put it in a better position. So I would do incline bench more, and so my delts just grew at an exponential rate, and that's why I always felt like I had a weak chest because my delts would take over. So I've
Do you
been
use a
trying to work
bar
on.
or are you just dumbbells?
I used to use a bar. Coach has me use dumbbells most of the time, or a Smith machine
That's
because the Smith machine it takes a little bit more focus out of stabilizing the bar, and you're
hmm
focusing more on that specific muscle. And then I also feel with the Smith machine, I have a little more confidence with pushing myself to more to that failure, that true muscular failure, because I know that if I fail it, I can just rack it and I'm done. I don't have to drop it on my chest or wait for somebody to come help me or ask for a spot. I go so early in the morning that there's a lot of people there right at this point in time, but they're all people that I just don't know that I trust to spot me or not, because I've asked a few of the people I don't know for spots, and they messed me up. One guy in particular, I was going for overhead press, and I was trying to get the hundreds up, and I've got where I hurt my left shoulder early on in my career, or not my career, but my lifting journey. I can get the right up, but the left has a sticking point. So I always have to have somebody help. Just once I'm past that sticking point, I'm good. I can wrap it out. Once I get past parallel, I can't get back up. I asked them to spot me, and so what I always do is I pop one dumbbell up and the other dumbbell up, and then I press them both up. Well, he messed me up. I popped this one up, and I was going to pop this one. And he went ahead and pushed my left arm up. My
oh
right arm was still sitting on my leg, and I
yeah.
just kind of, I was like, all right, I'm done, I'm done. So I've gotten real picky about who I ask for spots nowadays. But
hmm
I don't have that problem.
Hey, you
I'm
kill it
like
in the gym. I don't
I'm
care what
15 pounds.
it's not the weight. It really isn't. I mean, it if you're wanting to really, and Zach, you know this, but a lot of you guys might not know this. Yes, a stronger muscle is a bigger muscle. But if you're trying to build 3D muscle, you want reps, right? You
hmm
want to go to muscular fatigue. You want to be in that 8 to 15 range. You really want to be pushing it, but you want to be able to push that with a heavier amount of weight as you can. I try, like myself, when I'm lifting my pressing movements, I never try to touch a weight that I can't do at least 8 times. I might only get 7 sometimes, but I try to at
hmm
least be able to get 8 reps. And so it really isn't the amount of weight. It's getting to that muscular fatigue, right?
hmm
It's getting
And
to failure.
the term heavy is very arbitrary because I can go to the gym on overhead presses and I can throw 80s for 15, 16, 17 reps on a shoulder press all day long. The guy next to me might not be able to do 30s for 10. But yeah, when I say I don't when I say I don't go heavy, I don't hit like you say less than 8 reps.
hmm
My goal is usually between 10 to 15 reps. But like if I have a 10 rep set, if I get that last or that if I have a 10 rep, like my shoulder days, they're all 4 sets of 10. But that last set, if I can only get 8 or 9, then I did my job. That means that I'm done. but yeah, people say, oh, I don't go higher than, 50-pound dumbbells. Well, if you're hitting 50s for 40 reps,
Yeah.
you probably need to step it up a little bit.
Well, yeah,
Heavy is
because
just
at that point you're really not getting to muscular fatigue, you're getting more into cardiovascular fatigue. And that's
exactly,
not
yes, there's a
going to
difference.
build muscle. You don't want to get cardiovascular tired. I mean, it's
Hmm.
fine at the end of your workout if you're gassed, but you want the muscle to fail, not your
I,
conditioning to fail.
I think Hani Rambod said it good. He said that people train to muscular fatigue, which is you're exhausted and you can't push any more weight. He
Hmm.
trains to muscular failure, to where
Correct.
you're done, and then you get help up, and then until the point where you literally can't even negative anymore. Your muscles are failed. That's the point that he pushes forward towards for those 3D muscles to build those bigger
Correct.
fibers. That's what
100%.
that's what builds more fibers, creates more fibers to give it that 3D look.
Yeah, Emma, I want to ask you a question too, because while we're just talking about this, because there's something I noticed lifting with you that I absolutely love it, and I want to know where you learned it from, because it is textbook perfect, and this is why you've been able to build your physique without having to push a ton of weight. When you're lifting, you are always trying and focusing on really trying to get the mind muscle connection and contracting the muscle being trained. And we talked a little bit about that when we were working out and just different ways that you can get certain muscles to contract. But where did you first learn that? Who'd you learn that from? Or is that just something that came natural to you trying to contract the muscle?
Like, I don't want to say that I learned it, like that's something that I figured out on my own. Like, I think that there's little, like, Sin has said it, you've said it. It's just like little things before. But in a sense, like it would just make sense to me, because if I'm doing tricep push downs and I don't feel it in my triceps, I'm like, what am I doing? Or I'm doing lat pull downs and I don't feel it in my lats, or I'm doing RDLs and I don't feel it in my glutes. I'm knowing that I'm not connecting mentally, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, but that's not like a specific. I didn't figure out on my own. I think it was just like little hints
Here
around
and
different.
there, and you picked it up along the way?
Yeah. Now, as far as like constantly engaging that mind muscle connection, I struggle with that.
I don't think
But
any of us do, right? Every
yeah,
time, but
but being aware of it, I mean, that's a step up in the game, in my opinion. I mean, I have this little girl, not little girl, she's my agent. She actually just got certified on Friday by Austin. So she's going to be out on her own. So I just finished training her. And she's like, yeah, I've been working out and I did what you said. And I squatted and I benched for the first time. And I was like, oh, you benched? Like, did you just bench the bar? She's like, yeah. And I'm so sore. I was like, how many reps did you do? She was like 12. I was like, that's so good. And then she's like, I squatted too. And I didn't put any weight on the bar either, like you said, and just like focused on really my form and just making sure that I have that connection mentally. And I was like, yay, like, that's so
she's
good.
rocking. You need to sign her up.
Yeah, I was telling her and my other agent, Sean, about it. And I was like, hey, like I got y'all, but I'm literally the one supplying their paychecks right now. So I think once they can make their own paychecks, they'll feel a little more inclined to spend money. Cause yeah, I mean, I ride a lot of business, but it's hard. I wouldn't say it's enough to put on 3 people.
Yeah, I know. I
So
hear you.
I'm now I've got those 2 agents out. I'll have another one this week. But I can handle one. I can put business on 2 people and we can both live very well.
There you
But
go.
3 people, that's stretching. I mean, last week we wrote 5,700 annual premium just between, well, I did. They were just with me. I wrote 5,700 of annual premium, which is like pretty average for me. Like it's a little bit more than average. I average about 4,000 a week. And I was just sitting there. I was like, man, if I didn't have to split this AP, I would be rolling in it right
Be
now.
rolling in it.
My paycheck would have been at least $3,000. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, not unfortunately, they deserved it. They deserved it.
Yeah,
They
you
were,
had to share a little bit.
yeah. But I mean, I'm happy to be they earned it. So it's not like I just
Good.
gave it to them.
I hear
Um,
you.
but yeah, it's just cool to like sit and talk with them about like working out and stuff. And then we have a guy in our office. He's actually a competitor and he's about to go into prep I don't know how soon. He has a show in November or October, I think. So he's about to go into prep. He's a really cool guy. I like him a lot. His name is Nicholas Keefe. We call him Keefe Chief or Chief Keefe. And he's really cool. We always talk about working out. And then for some reason, what is it? The rhomboids? Is that what they're called?
Where there's
In your
traps and
back?
rhomboids very close to each other, right?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
rhomboids are a little bit farther down, kind of below the trap.
Yeah, but I can't ever remember what they're called. So I say
Yeah.
your rheumatoids. And so he always makes fun of me because he knows that's what I'm trying to say, that I can't think of it on the spot like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just like that's just such a common question that I ask in insurance. So it's just
Yeah.
the thing
That's
that pops in
funny.
my head.
That's funny.
Then he actually brought one of his buddies from the gym too. But it's just really cool because we've been starting to implement a lot of like healthy lifestyle in the office with working out and just inhibiting yourself, wrong word, embracing your ability to be the best that you can, especially if you're being active and like mentally in the gym or even just working out in any way, shape, or form, even if it's just walking around the block. Because it just opens up so many doors for you mentally, for you to be able to be successful in this job. And so we've been able to embrace it, and we've been hiring some really cool people that also embody those visions as well. So there's
Doesn't it? I mean, think about it. Doesn't it make you better at everything? I mean, Zach, like you're going through prep, right? You're doing this. Does the focus, the mental focus that you need to have for prep, preparing for a bodybuilding show, does that not carry over into your daily life?
I would say so. So, like for example, I work for a lead company here in Tennessee. I work on the underground crew. I run an excavator and I dig sewer lines and water lines. I just took it over in September. Um, I wouldn't say it's just because I'm in prep, but I'm giving everything I can to this prep, working hard. I'm laser focused, and that I guess it kind of carries over into my work. Just the HWMF mindset of just giving the best I can every single day. Some days are better than others. Um, I have gotten since I took over, I've gotten $7.47 in raises since September,
Yep.
based off because of how good my jobs come in, my customer reviews. I won, and this surprised me. I won Employee of the Month for the month of January over I think 800 other employees in the entire residential department of Lee Company. And
That's awesome.
when my managers asked me, what drives me to go above and beyond, my response was I didn't know I was. That's just how I work. It's how I operate. So
Just
so
doing the
they saw
best you can.
exactly. They saw
Yeah.
me as doing extra, and I just saw me as just working my tail
just
off.
doing just doing the process and doing what you're supposed to do. And that's how
Is
it is. That's how it is in our office. They're like, "How'd you book so many appointments?" Like, I thought that was normal.
exactly.
Like
Isn't that the job?
yeah.
Isn't
Yep.
that what
How'd
I'm
And
you book
supposed
so
to be
much
doing?
AP?
Yeah.
a part of my mindset, which my manager was like, that's one of the big things that sets you out above everybody else. Is there I can think of a few specific crews in my head. I think their favorite phrase, they probably ought to have it across the front of the truck, is "That's not my job." And if I roll up to a job, something's got to be done in order for me to get my job done. That's my job.
Yeah.
If a customer needs something and it's a service that the company provides, that's my job. I told my manager I hate that phrase. That's not my job description.
Hmm.
That's the W-2 mentality over like the 1099 mentality. And
yeah,
like obviously you are technically you're hourly, right?
yeah.
So
But
you're not salary, you're not 1099, but like also like you have that 1099 mentality, that self-employed
well,
mentality.
I was raised most of my life self-employed, and
Yeah.
I've just found that the W-2, the pay, the hourly wage, I'm able to budget better that way. I can, have an idea of what I'm getting. But
Yeah.
my response to my manager was, "What the name on my paycheck is Lee Company. If the Lee Company asks me to do something, that's my job because they're paying me to do that."
See,
I
I was
don't.
taught at a very young age. I was always taught by many role models in my life. My dad, my grandpa. When you work for somebody or you work for a company, you work for them like you own the place,
Mhm. They
right?
want us. They want me. And this is one of the things that they always tell us is you run that truck like it's your own. Because if it's your own, you're going to take care of it. You're going to make sure it's making money. You're going to make sure you're making money. That's one of the reasons that my manager's been able to give me so much increase in pay is he says that that truck has not ran as efficient. It's career lead company as it has since I took over it in September. My numbers are through the roof. I have brought profits up and expenses down just by the way that I operate. I don't
Yeah.
like to waste materials. I don't like to, you know, non-necessary expenses.
Hmm.
If something's wrong with the truck or the machine and I could fix it, I fix it. Whereas most other crews, for example, one of the joysticks on my machine broke off, and it was just a metal rod broke. They would have put the machine in the shop. It would have been 2-3 weeks in the machine in the shop getting fixed, 2 or 3 weeks of a rental. All those expenses add up. I took the piece over, home and took it to the shop, welded it up real quick, slapped it back on, went back to work.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Now, I know you work out early usually, right?
I usually get up
You
around 3 o'clock in the morning.
to is that when you do your weightlifting or are you doing just
Yeah,
cardio in the
yes,
morning
I
and
do.
then
I get up at 3. Usually takes me about an hour to get out of the house. So I'm usually at the gym about 4:20, 4:30. And depending on which muscle group I'm lifting that day, sometimes I'll sleep in a little extra if it's not a long workout. But yeah, I do my weightlifting in the morning. I get done, and then I go to work. I come home, and the coach has me doing my cardio in the evenings before I go to
what's
bed.
what's the hardest thing you're dealing with right now in your prep?
Cardio in the evenings.
What about those
Just
cookies that Megan got?
oh, they look good, don't they?
They do.
Um, oh man, yeah. But I'm trying to balance. My biggest issue is enough sleep.
Hmm.
I'm usually averaging about 6 hours. Sometimes it's only 5. I need at least 7. But with my job, sometimes I'm home at 3. Sometimes I'm not walking in the door till 7.
Hmm.
I need to be going to bed at like 8 o'clock to get that 7 hours of sleep. But if I come home and I've got to get all my stuff ready for the next day, pack all my food up, which I'm starting to get a better process for having almost everything ready for 3-4 day spans.
Yeah.
Trying to get back into that groove. But yeah, just trying to prioritize sleep. I need to get a little bit better on doing that.
Yeah, I'm an early bird. Emma knows this. I'm usually up. I try to get my first workout in by 4:30, 5 o'clock. But I do
Yeah,
cardio in the morning.
he's texting me at freaking 4 o'clock. He's, hey girl, you up? I'm like, I went to bed at midnight because I didn't get off until 11.
Get in
I'm
the
out of
gym. Get in the gym.
I'm
But
not awake.
but no,
and
I
and my,
I love to
and
hit it in the morning. I do.
my thing, I have, I've had plenty of sessions where I went weightlifting, more like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the evening when
That's when I
people
lift. 5.
tend to lift. After a full day of eating, which I know you're usually supposed to be more fueled up, I feel more sluggish in the gym. If I can get up, have me a light meal, like right now, I get cup and a half of egg whites, an egg, and 40 grams of oats. I usually get that eaten by about 3:30. I'm in the gym by 4:30, 5 o'clock. Hour and a half for digestion, and the light food on my stomach is just enough fuel. I push better. I push harder.
See, I feel for me, because everybody's different, right? But for me, I am when I lift in the morning, I have good workouts, but I'm not as strong. When I lift in the evening, I'm stronger. I could do more weight for more reps, and I'm usually fuller. I usually get a much better pump. So I used to always do my weightlifting in the morning, but I just found that if I could have 3 or 4 meals in me. Now, I eat very light before I go to the gym. So I'll have I do my morning workout fasted, and then I'll have like my first meal, which is usually oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder in it and maybe a couple eggs, right? and then I will have another decent size meal, right? Where 150, 200 grams of protein, 150 grams of rice, some vegetables, and then usually my pre-workout meal is just some rice cakes and tuna.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually do that an
Well,
hour and a half before I train. And when I hit the gym, I'm usually super full. My pumps are way better when I do it that way. For me.
and see, and I think too that's the importance of having a coach or learning your body.
Hmm.
We have worked my meal around. My last meal of the day is my carb meal. My
Yeah.
last meal shortly before bed is 80 grams of oats, and then 65 grams of protein. I eat that. It's a slower digestion carb, so I have that in my system when I wake up in the morning. Then we have my egg whites and a small bowl of oatmeal in the morning, and I'm getting good pumps. Even at I'm eating. I think right now I'm getting right at 1,750, 1,800 calories a
Yeah.
day. That's what I get, which is not much for as
No.
active as I am. But the way coach has my meals planned out throughout the day, I never run out of energy. I get
Are
hungry as
you
hell before
dumping?
my
How
meal.
much weight are you dumping a week?
I'm maintaining.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not. I'm
maintaining
not.
right now.
I'm not dropping much weight, but I'm on, enough
Yeah. Enough
bodybuilding
stuff. Yeah.
supplements. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I'm leaning up now. Now I'm in the last.
Emma's pre-workout meal is probably something she ate 4 days ago because the girl never eats anymore.
You know what? I'm so glad that I didn't eat this morning because I drank coffee and I had my first appointment at 8 a.m. and I damn near shit myself.
What?
So I
It's
would
not
have
good.
if I had eaten. So that is why I
Speaking of
don't eat.
which, I learned a
Hey,
very
wait,
important lesson the other day.
you know that little thing I usually put in at the first part of the podcast, that little 10-second snippet? I think I just heard it right there. Oh,
Gosh.
no, no.
Speak, speaking of, I learned a very important lesson the other day. Anyone who's in a cut and are trying to find ways to curb hunger, sugar-free gum is not the answer.
You gonna shit
I
yourself?
was I was I was chewing sugar-free, and it would come in spurts. I'd get these a day or two of just extreme hunger, and I needed to just chew just to kind of get that satisfaction. So
Hmm.
I'd pick like an 80 pack of those Mentos gum, and I would
Mhm.
just chew like 2 or 3 pieces, and once it was gone, I spit 2 or 3 pieces, and then I got to noticing that in those spurts, I was like, man, I've got explosive diarrhea. Is it the supplements that I'm on? Is it the orals I'm taking? What's going on? And I happen to look it up, and yeah, oh, the sorbitol. Oh, the
Yeah,
ingredients of sugar-free gum and in high quantities is a natural laxative. So,
yeah, mess you up.
oh yeah,
Throw that in with some coffee and you're a goner.
which
Yeah.
I'm drinking a full scoop of deep fat workout in the morning. It's 475 milligrams of caffeine, and sadly enough, I don't hardly feel that at all, which says a lot about my caffeine intake. And I have about a pot of coffee throughout the day after that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
my caffeine intake's pretty high. My coffee intake, so.
Hey,
But yeah, I think that helps keep me regular with as much protein as I'm eating.
there you go. So talking with your coach, how do you guys what's your goal on stage this year? What do you want to accomplish?
I mean, ultimately, I would love to take first or second in my class because this year, Indiana Muscle is a qualifier. So if I take first or second in my class, I'm qualified to compete at a national level.
Yeah.
So which would be fantastic. Now, I don't know all the rules and regulations on how long that qualification lasts. I haven't done a whole lot looking into it. Right now I'm more focused into just enjoying the prep and enjoying the competing.
Yeah.
Kind of get used to that. So I haven't really dug into all the rules of it, but
Because
I
you
don't
have
know that.
goals, man. I know you have goals. I know that eventually you would like to, get that pro card yourself. And I know there's
That
a
that's
lot of work that goes into it. So,
Yeah, that's my ultimate goal is to get the pro card. Um, in which I tell my wife, I don't think I have a career in bodybuilding. It takes starting early and full dedication to have an actual career in bodybuilding. 'Cause you got to get that Nick Walker, Hadi Chupin, you got to get on the Olympia stage. So
Even
so yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So,
No, 100%.
you get and and I'll be 35 in July. I've probably got a good 4 or 5 years of competing in me before I'm really
Hmm.
kind of over that hump.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
you're right in the man strength range, right? So this is when in your 30s is really, and I noticed this even in my own body. The muscles that I had, I probably looked a lot better. Um, just leaner in my 20s and early 30s, but that hard, very strong muscle really starts coming on from like 35. The amount of strength that I gained from 35 to 45 was
well,
quadruple what I had gained getting
it's
to that point.
it's the muscle maturity. You build muscle
100%.
as a young man, but it's kind of, I don't know how to put it. It's not as dense as you get
Oh
older.
yeah,
It
no,
starts
it doesn't stay on. Yeah,
it starts hardening, and you've got it.
100%.
But my goal is I want to become a coach at some point. I got a lot
Hmm.
more to learn. I could probably start taking on clients now, with what I do know. Find people who are where I started and try to get them to where I'm at.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like I want to have my life set where I've got a little more time to dedicate to them
Well, I'm
before
gonna
I
tell
do
you
that.
right now, coaching coaching is coaching is more a mindset of knowledge. We had talked about this. Emma and I were talking about this before. It's not your best coaches. Some of them aren't even certified. They're really not. But what
My coach.
makes what makes a good coach is the coach that's willing to put in the time to do the research, to
Mhm.
learn the different things and understand that everybody is so different. And the only reason I bring this up is because you made one little comment that you've gotten to this point and you think you could get people to that point. You probably could, but so many people are going to react differently.
Mhm.
They're not going to. So if that's something you want to do, you need to research all the way. So if you got 10 clients, you want to be able to take all 10 clients to get them to this point. They may all take different paths to get there.
And I was working on building a clientele at one point, and that's kind of why I backed off, because I realized that I could coach people with my mentality of, I have no problem eating chicken and rice 6 times a day for 6 months at a time. That's how I
Correct.
got where I'm at. I can eat the same exact thing every single meal, every single day of my life, and it not bother me at all. But I have to get more well rounded on how to help them build. Some people want to do, no carbs, or some people want to do more of a free eating style, just counting macros. I need a little more experience with all that. And plus, like I said, if I could get my pro card, it would look good saying, hey, I've got an IFBB coach as a pro. I want to get a few nutritional certifications just so I have better knowledge and understanding of the nutrition that goes into it. you
Yes,
know
because nutrition, here's the thing, man. Nutrition, first of all, in many states, it's against the law to actually give meal plans.
yeah.
As
Yep.
a coach, you're not supposed to give meal plans. Now, there's ways you can get around doing that. But
Hmm.
ultimately, what do you want? If you're going to be a coach, what do you want to do with your clients? Do you want to tell them what to do, or do you want to teach them what to do so that they can learn to do for themselves?
And I think too, so you have to reach your client. Some people, they do have that earning for knowledge. They want to learn to be able to progress themselves. Right now, which I'm doing a little bit of both. I'm learning. I ask my coach a lot of questions, but also I'm enjoying the mental liberation of paying him to just tell me what to do.
Yeah,
What do I eat?
but
What
especially
do
in
I
prep,
lift?
right? When you're
Yeah, I
mentally
don't.
kind of,
Oh man, if I had to sit right now and make up my own meal plans, it would be chicken and rice every. It would be the most basic. He mixes it up a little bit,
yeah.
but it and I'm of the follower mindset right now. You just tell me what to do. Tell me how to get to my goals.
Mhm.
And along the way, he'll swap things up. He'll say, we're gonna do asparagus instead of Brussels sprouts this week. And I'm like, okay, perfect. but why? I
Yeah.
follow, no issues, but what's the difference? And I'll tell you, well, asparagus will help you drop water weight more than Brussels sprouts will. There's certain things
Make your
that goes
teeth not
into
grit.
it.
Well, asparagus is
Uh,
a diuretic, right? It's a
yeah,
natural
yeah.
diuretic.
Makes your feet
So
smell weird unless you're drinking 3 gallons of water a day. Then there's so much water there. There's nothing in there. It's too diluted to smell weird.
yeah, funny,
So,
funny. So are
yeah.
you pumped though? You ready to go, man?
Oh yeah. Last year, man, even the drive up there last year, I was nervous. In the hotel, I was nervous. Um, I was a little bit nervous backstage, but I was pumped. As soon as my feet hit the stage, I saw those lights. I felt like I was home. It was just like, oh, this is it. I wish I was doing this 10 years ago. But
Yeah, that's good, man. It's good that you're into it and you're enjoying it. And I'm telling you, we're excited to take this journey with you. We're very grateful that we were able to, help you get your lodging up there. And we're gonna send you with a few t-shirts and we really appreciate. I mean, Zach, you are fantastic. You market us every time you post something.
oh yeah,
We're very grateful for your support of us, and we're grateful to support you, man. I mean, I want to see you achieve all your goals.
well, I appreciate it. Without y'all, I wouldn't have this opportunity right now. I'd had to, I'd have had to hustle and beg some other people to help me out.
But no, it's gonna be good, man. I'm very excited to see how you do this year. I think you're gonna do a lot better. Just
Yeah,
looking at your pictures, man, I'm very excited. Oh, excuse me.
and it's like I tell like last year, so many people were so bummed out. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't win. Are you sad? No, I got on stage. I had a blast. It was fun. It was an
It's
experience.
great. And if
Winner.
you look where you came from to where you were on that stage, man, that is freaking amazing.
Yeah. Well,
That is
it's
a
kind of like
transformation right there.
you know, I checked a major box off my list was to compete on stage. Did I win? No, but did I compete on stage? Hell yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, and looked good. You didn't look bad. You
yeah,
look good, bro. You
and
look really good.
that's what I had to try to explain to several people. They're like, "Oh man, but you look where you came from." I'm like, the judges don't care where I came from. They committed my work, and they could tell that I'd lost a lot of weight. But the judge's job is to pick the best physique on that stage. And grant the loose skin and all that stuff. That's not the best physique.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that we can get lean enough this year to where it's not as big of an issue.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
we'll
that'd
just
be
see.
great. We're
Just see
excited.
where I.
Hey, Emma, you got any questions for Zach? Anything that we missed anything
Shoot, man.
about your
I've been
prep or
so
anything?
I've been so out of loop. I don't even know what to ask you, man, other than I'm excited for you. And I mean, for the most part, every time I like jump on every 30 days on the group chat, try to get the rundown and everything. But now I'm excited for you, man. I think you're gonna do awesome. I can't wait to see
Appreciate it.
what it all looks like when you get all fake tan and all that.
Yeah, my wife gets to go this time, so we're excited about that.
Yeah,
It.
keep going. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is gonna be her first time away from our 2-year-old since he was born overnight.
Oh, yeah, that'll
Wow.
be fun though. That'll be good. Be a good
So
time.
she said, so of course we're heading out Friday, midday, and Saturday's the competition. We're gonna go eat after the competition, and then Sunday we're gonna take our time coming back. She's like, it's gonna be our first weekend away from the kids. We're doing something Sunday
Yeah, that'll be fun.
between Indiana and home. We're stopping somewhere, doing something fun. I was like, let's pick something.
I have
So
to tell you too, what Emma was talking about being out of the loop. People have no idea the hours that this girl puts in. Not just
oh,
for
I'm
work hard peoples in this podcast, but in her own daily life with her job, her husband, her wonderful son. This girl is burning it at both ends, and she's not suffering doing it. I mean, she's suffering some sleep loss, but I mean, her her work is not suffering, right? She's killing it in everything she does. So we're very proud of you, girl. You just keep doing you, and everything will work out, right?
Trying.
Well, hey, Zach. Hey, thanks again for coming on. After the show, it might be a month or two later, but we'll get you circled back around so you can tell everybody all about it, the experience, how you did,
Oh
everything that
yeah.
was going on. I know that everybody's it's a little bit late, and people got Easter things that they're probably getting ready to do. So we are going to check out of here. But once again, we thank everybody. Please continue to like and subscribe. We really enjoy doing this. Really enjoy the conversations. Just work hard, peoples, and remember, don't forget to smile. Thanks so much for watching or listening. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook at Work Hard Peoples LLC or Instagram at Work Hard Peoples LLC. You can also find us on our website at workhardpeoples.com. Have a great day or night. Don't forget to smile.